Hey guys, and welcome back to another new Animal Crossing video. I'm Crossing Channel, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the 5 hardest goals that you can complete in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now this list is of course subjective. You guys might find some of these aren't the hardest for you. You may have already completed them, you may have even completed all of these, but in my opinion these are the hardest goals that players can go after in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now, I haven't really put them in any particular order. I think I'll let you guys decide which you think are the hardest in the comment section down below. But if you're excited for this video and to check out these hardest goals in Animal Crossing New Horizons, be sure to leave a like to show support, and of course if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications for more Animal Crossing videos. Now, let's get straight into it. In at number 1, we have getting all of the golden tools. Now, I'm willing to bet a lot of you guys maybe only have 1 or 2 golden tools because some of these require a lot of extra dedication to get. The easiest ones, of course, are the golden slingshot and the golden watering can, which I'm guessing are most players' first. So we're going to go over each one and how you can basically get those. Now, when it comes to the golden net and the golden fishing rod, respectively, you're going to want to catch all of the bugs to get the golden net, and you're going to need to catch all of the fish to get the golden rod. Then you'll be mailed a recipe to unlock those and craft them yourself. Of course, to craft all of these, you're going to need the original tool, and you're going to need a golden nugget, which can be kind of difficult to get. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not finding too many golden nuggets these days. So make sure you stockpile those up for when you do get all the recipes. The golden shovel is maybe the hardest one out of all of these in my opinion, because you need to meet up with Gulliver and complete his task of getting all of his parts 30 times. That is a lot. It is a whole ton of effort to get him to appear that much because of course it's random, though it does seem like he'll wash up every 10 days or so maybe, but then you also need to do his task 30 times and then he should send you the recipe for the golden shovel. Pretty difficult though. The golden slingshot, I believe, is just getting a certain amount of balloons. I believe it's 100, but I may be wrong on that. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I can't be 100% perfect about all of these, but I'm sure you guys will let me know. As for the golden watering can, that's probably the easiest one because you get that by getting a 5-star island. And a 5-star island is something that a lot of us can kind of get passively, to be honest with you. It's not too difficult. Then we have the golden axe, which will require you to break a total amount of axes, and I believe that comes to about 100 axes. Of course, you can use the flimsy axe to get this a bit easier. So getting all of these golden tools is pretty difficult, and it's even a Nook mile task to get all of them, so you guys should definitely consider doing it. The golden tools are pretty cool, though sadly they do actually break, which is a bit frustrating, and I'm not a huge fan of that. In at number 2, we have the Cast Master. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys might actually find this to be the hardest one. I don't know about you guys, but I find this one so difficult. Cast your line carefully if you want to reel in this reward. You'll need to nab a bunch of fish in a row without getting a single one away to earn these miles. So you basically need to get 100 fish in a row to complete this entirely. 10 for the first one, then 50, then 100. And that is really difficult. A lot of us have kind of trouble fishing. Maybe our coordination is not so good. You know, for me, that's definitely a problem where I get too nervous and I tend to reel it in way too quickly, and then I miss out on the fish, and then, you know, you can't complete the goal. So it is really frustrating. This one is definitely difficult, but again, if you want to get all of those Nook Mile tasks, you're going to have to do this one at some point. So it's definitely one of the harder challenges in the game, but if you do like fishing, I guess you could probably complete this one without too much trouble if you've got the experience, so it's probably not too bad for everyone, but for me it's definitely a tricky one. In at number 3, we actually have catching all of the fish and all of the bugs. Now again, you're going to need to do this if you want to get those golden net and golden golden net and golden fishing rod recipes. It's pretty difficult though, because you're going to need to do this with time in mind. You know, certain fish and certain bugs only come out at certain times in the year. So if you want to get them, you're going to need to act fast and make sure you don't miss out on any and have to wait a whole year. Of course, if you time travel, this isn't so difficult, but for players who are playing day by day, you're going to need to make sure you spend a lot of time and use a lot of bait. And of course, you're going to need to know the different places. Like, for example, some fish can only be caught off the pier. Some bugs can only be caught near flowers. There's a lot of different elements to consider, and some are, of course, much rarer than others. So if you want to collect every single fish and every single bug, you're really going to need to spend a lot of time considering it. Of course, there are a lot of really great guides online. I know my friend Mayor Mori does these videos pretty much every month, where he goes over all the fish and bugs that'll be going away. He does that for the northern and southern hemisphere, so that's a really good guide, and I definitely recommend that if you are trying to go after this goal. Again, there is a Nook Mile thing for it. There's a Nook Mile thing for literally everything in this game, so if you want to get that, you're gonna have to do this one too. It is a bit challenging, but I definitely think it's worth it considering you do get those rewards. And of course, you can fill up your museum with every bug and fish that way too, which is another kind of cool goal to complete. I've personally done this, and the museum looks really cool with it. I did this in Animal Crossing New Leaf, I did it in Wild World 2, I believe, so you definitely want to complete the museum if you can. It's really a lot of fun, and I'm sure Blathers would be pretty grateful too to see that museum all filled up. For the next one, we have collecting every single DIY recipe. Now, there are so many DIY recipes in this game for different things, mostly items that you can craft with different recipes, and you know, it's interesting just how much they actually want you to craft in this game, and of course they add more and more, so technically getting every single DIY recipe, it won't really be possible because you can do it, but then they're going to update the game with more and more. So I guess you can get to a point where you do have all of the ones that exist currently, but they're always going to be adding more, probably throughout however long they decide to update this game for, which is, I think they said 3 years. They'll probably keep adding new DIY recipes and maybe even new types as well. So yeah, you're definitely going to have to spend a lot of time getting all of these. Of course, some you can only get in balloons, I believe. Some you can probably only get in bottles. There's different ways to get them, as you guys know by now. So you'll have to make sure you go through all the different methods and all the different seasons as well to get every single DIY recipe, because it is going to be kind of tricky to get everyone. But it's kind of a fun goal, and getting all those different items around your island will definitely make it stand out a bit more. So it's something that is really worth doing in my opinion, and definitely a good goal to go after. Finally, in at number 5, we have getting every single Nook Mile task. This is a really tricky one, but it's one that if you do all of these things on this list, you'll be one step closer to doing. You're going to need to go through so much to get every single Nook Mile task completed. It is really difficult, and I believe there's some that they haven't even added into the game yet, so technically it's not 100% possible, but as time goes by and the game gets updated, you will be able to get every single one, and that's a lot of fun, and it's definitely a big challenge. I'd love for you guys to tell me in the comment section down below how many of these on this list you've actually completed, how many you're going to go after now that you've seen this video, and which do you actually think is the hardest out of the one on this list. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. If you want to help support my channel, click the join button down below the video to become a member of the Bob's Gang. You can get a whole bunch of cool perks for doing so, and it helps me out a whole bunch too. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like to show your support. You can check out my links and my merch in the video description, and you can subscribe for even more Animal Crossing content. Be sure to turn on channel notifications if you want to get notified every time that I post a new video. Thank you for watching once again, and catch you in the next one.